Welcome on back to Skippers. Today I have 3 must-add players for your fantasy baseball teams in week 21. Don't forget to subscribe, join the Discord coming down to the end here, but still some important players that you can add for your teams. Let's get into those 3 players. First one is Royce Lewis, third baseman, second baseman, Twins, 34% rostered so far this season in the big leagues, a 343 average, 4 home runs, 17 driven in, 2 stolen bases, and an OPS of 870. Royce Lewis missed 6 weeks due to an oblique injury. Obviously, he was coming back for what I believe was an ACL tear at the start of this year. So second time this season, he's had a long layoff and he is coming back. But I think he has flown under the radar that he has come back, and he is criminally under-rostered. 24-year-old has only played in 28 games this season, but he brings some firepower in the Twins lineup that they seem to be missing consistently. In his 2 games back from injury, Lewis was hitting in the middle of the lineup, and he has 4 hits and 7 at-bats, as well as a stolen base. Royce was 5 for 12 with 2 home runs and a stolen base in his rehab assignment as well. Lewis, once again, has the power and speed upside that you want in fantasy baseball, and he's a super available guy that you should be picking up. In his short time, he has a weighted runs created plus of 144, while running a crazy batting average on balls in play of 449. Should his power surge continue, he continues to steal bases. This could be a league-winning pickup for the last about 6 weeks of the season. His hard hit numbers aren't as good as his stint last year, but he had 3 balls hit over 105 miles an hour last night, and I think those numbers will get better. He's crushing fastballs once again. He looks healthy. He's a talented super prospect. Like, there's a reason he was so highly touted. Pick up Royce Lewis if you need infield help. Second player this week is Kerry Carpenter of the Twins, 42% rostered on the season, a 286 average, 16 home runs, 42 driven in, and an OPS of 868. Kerry Carpenter is running the quietest 2-WAR, 140 weighted runs created plus 77 games of anyone in baseball. In the second half of the season, Kerry Carpenter is hitting 321 with 8 home runs, driving in 21, an OPS of 965, and a weighted runs created plus of 166 in those 30 games. Over his last 12 games, Kerry Carpenter is 20 for 44, which is 455, with 5 home runs. Last year, he hit 36 home runs between the minors and majors, and he's showing that as a 25-year-old, he still has a lot to add to his game, but it is already pretty good. Carpenter has an xWOBA, xBA, and xSlug all over the 78th percentile, a barrel rate in the 72nd percentile, and runs a weighted on-base average in the top 8% of the league. Carpenter's hitting the ball on average 3 miles an hour harder than last year, a hard hit percentage over 10 percentage points higher than last year. He runs a good OBP. He runs a good slug. He is a legit fantasy asset. Ride the wave and pick up Kerry Carpenter. Finally, we have someone who is 2% rostered, Jonathan Aranda of the Rays. In the minors this year, a 339 average, 25 home runs, 81 driven in, 2 stolen bases, and an OPS of 1063. Aranda makes a must-add here as he is a Rays player who has just been called up, plays an infield position to fill a roster spot that Wander Franco has just given away, and he has crazy talented bat skills. 25-year-old has been tearing up the minor leagues, and Scott White did an awesome write-up on Aranda, and it would be a disservice for you guys not to hear what he had to say on the Rays prospect, who he believes the sky is the limit for. The surface level stats for the incredible story they tell don't tell the whole story. He just wrapped up a 4-game stretch in which he hit 529, 9 for 17 with 5 home runs. It continued a 53-game stretch in which he hit 391 with 18 home runs. Now, you can say that it is the minor leagues and they're Chuck E. Cheese ballparks, whack-a-mole pitchers. Those who have a more sophisticated palate allow him to point out that his 92.3 mile an hour average exit velocity, which is comparable to Austin Riley. Or you can compare his 113 mile per hour max exit velocity, which is comparable to Corey Seager. Or you can look at his 14.7% walk rate and 20% strikeout rate, which are comparable to Lars Nootbaar. That's why he struggles to put limitations on Aranda as a hitter. He won't steal bases, but nobody will care if he does all the other stuff. The Rays didn't have him in the lineup yesterday. He doesn't exactly play Wander Franco's position, but they should be able to get a bat that is that talented into the lineup often. Again, there's a DH spot for a reason, for someone that is hit first and not really great defensively. So if Aranda can find himself in there and stay up in the big leagues and stick this time, he is going to be a great fantasy asset and obviously not someone worthy of 2% roster. There it is, 3 must-add players for this week in fantasy baseball. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you guys are doing in your leagues as well. Subscribe, join the Discord, and I'll see you guys next week.